Namaste everybody, my name's Candace and today I have a lovely twisty flow that is suitable for all levels. So if you've got a little bit of an achy spine, maybe you've been sitting at the desk for too long or whatever it might be, this is going to be a great class to wring out the spine, but it's also fantastic for digestion. So if you're like me and you sometimes indulge a little bit, then this is going to be great for you. I do recommend you have a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, just grab a couple of thick books or a couple of very firm cushions, something like that. We're not going to be using them a lot, but they're going to be great for one of our ending poses. So we're going to jump straight into it today. So sitting up tall through the spine, hug the belly button back. We're going to start with some nice gentle stretches. So inhale, raise the arms to the sky, look up and stretch. Opening out the arms and taking this right arm to the left leg just to guide you into this twist, the seated twist. Taking your left hand behind you. Hug your belly button back. Make sure you can still breathe nice and deep. If you can't, then just gently twist a little less. Try to keep your breaths nice and deep in and out of the nose throughout today's class. If you're congested, just breathe through the mouth. And on your exhales, try to gently go a little deeper. Now raise your hands to the sky, look up and twist the opposite direction. Taking this left hand to the right knee and taking your right hand behind you, or maybe you can find a grip of the inside edge of your left thigh. Keeping that breath deep. You'll also feel a delicious stretch behind the shoulder blade of this left arm. You may have noticed it on the right side as well. Coming out the twist, inhale, reach high, stretch up, taking this left arm to the ground, and taking the right arm up and over the ear for a side body stretch. You can come all the way to the forearm or stay up on the hand, whatever's more accessible to your body. Rotating the wrist, just find a little rotation, tilt your chest to the sky, and then bring this right arm down to the ground. Drop the head, draw the shoulder blade away from the ear. Now walk your hands in front of you and bring them over to the other side. So right fingertips on the ground. Inhale, reaching that left arm up and over your ear. If possible, come down to the forearm. Tilt your chest to the sky. Breathe deep. Find some wrist rotations with the arm lifted. And then draw that hand down towards the right side of the mat. Drop your head, shoulders away from your ears. Okay, come back to center. Let's make our way onto all fours. We're going to take 3 cat-cows. So keep your wrists in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips, and inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, tucking the chin in the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. One more, inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. Come to a neutral spine. Inhale, lift your right arm to the sky. Hold it just for a minute. And then thread that hand underneath the left. So you're in thread the needle. You can take this left hand to your bum. You can keep it placed on the ground, or you can find an interlace and grab the inside edge of your right thigh. Wherever you are, just breathe deep. Try to keep your hips in line with your knees. If you notice them slumping to the left, just draw them back. Placing that left hand back on the ground, inhale, lift your right to the sky, look up. And plant that back down. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Thread it underneath the right, come down to the shoulder. And you can keep this right hand on the ground, place it on your tailbone, or find a grip of the inside edge of your left thigh. Keeping the breath deep, keeping the hips in line with your knees. Okay, plant your right hand on the ground, push yourself up into a neutral spine. Extend your hands a little in front of you and send your hips up into a plank. Find a little rock from forwards and back. And then send your hips to the sky for your first downward facing dog. Breathe deep into your down dog. You can always walk your hamstrings out. This is your first hamstring stretch, so you may notice that you're a bit stiff. Don't worry if your heels don't touch the ground. Perhaps with time they will. Make sure your shoulders are in line with your wrists, your feet in line with your hips. Slight external rotation of the shoulder blades, so you're trying to get your armpits to look at each other. And a slight internal rotation of the thighs. Hugging the belly back, breathe deep. Roll forwards and hover your knees off the ground, so you're in like a tabletop with your knees hovered. Start to twist to the left, lift your left hand. So we're just taking little twists, just like this, tapping the knee. So continue to twist. If you need to stop and look at me, feel free. Keep your knees low. As you turn round, keep your knees low to the ground, but not touching the ground. Taking 3 on each side. So 1, 2, 3. 1 more over to the other side. And back to your downward facing dog. From here, if it's possible, take a grip of your calf, of your ankle, or even just of the thigh. So taking your left hand to the right leg, look underneath your right arm. Hug your belly back and then just enjoy this twist if it's possible. If not, feel free to rest in a child's pose. Plant that hand down and twist to the opposite side. Right hand to left leg. Take a look underneath this left arm. Close your eyes if possible and breathe deep. Place your right arm back down. If you're in child's pose, meet us in down dog. You're going to lift the left leg and step it to the outside edge of this left hand. Take your time getting there. So we're in a lizard pose. Just sink low through the hips. If this is not possible, you can use your block in the center of your hips and just have yourself a little lifted. If you can though, keep your hands on the ground. And if you can go a little further, just lifting this left arm to the sky. Twist your chest to the sky. Breathing deep. And then plant your hand down, step back to a plank, holding your plank for a breath. Send your tailbone to the sky, down dog. Lifting your right leg, start to move forward to plank. Take your knee to your elbow and step that foot outside edge of the right hand. Back into your lizard. You can use your block to raise your arms. Breathe here a moment. And then lift your right arm to the sky. Tilt your chest towards the sky and breathe deep. Plant your hand back down, step back to your plank. Hold your plank nice and strong. Drop your knees to the ground. Exhale down, elbows close to the body, all the way to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, lift the chest. Exhale down. Lift yourself back into a tabletop and take a seat. That was quite a lot of pressure on the hands, especially if you're a beginner, so we'll take some hand stretches. Let's take our fingertips, rotate them so they're facing the legs, and gently press the palms down to the ground. So your thumbs are on the outside edges of your fingers, spread the fingers wide. Maybe find a little rock from side to side, stretching the backs of the hands, maybe all the way up through the forearms. You can become still, you can bend the elbows, whatever feels good, make sure there's no pain. And then slowly raise the hands up. Give them a little shake out, and we'll do the opposite sides of the hands. So now take the tops of the hands to the ground, thumbs inside edge of the palms, and start to press your hands down onto the mat until you feel a stretch at the top of the hands this time. Make sure there's no pain. There may be a intense stretch, but make sure it's not painful. Spread your fingers. If it feels good, you can do the very, very slow and very gentle rock from side to side. And slowly release, give your hands another little shake out. Now plant your feet hip distance onto the mat. Take your hands behind you a few inches away from your bum, a couple of inches away from your bum. Make sure they're nice and planted flat, shoulder distance, and lift your hips up to the sky for a reverse tabletop. Squeeze your glutes. Let your head drop back. And then drop your tailbone to the ground. And very last, raise your head. Okay, so the very last pose of the day, we're going to use our blocks here, and we're going to open our shoulders. So we've stretched the back of the shoulders quite a bit. So we're going to place our block into a T shape. You can have it on the flattest level like this, so it's not so high, or you can have it a little higher on the second level. Don't have it on the highest, I think that'll be very intense for you. I'm going to have it on the second level. So create a capital T shape. And then start to lie your back down. So you want the bottom of the first block to sit just below your shoulder blades. And then start to lie your back onto that block until your head rests on the back block. Now with your legs, you can open them out into a butterfly pose, bringing your toes, your soles of your feet together and allowing your knees to fall open. You can have your legs straight, you can have them bent. So play around, feel what feels good for your legs today. And you can have your hands just placed on your belly, breathing deep, opening up through the back, through the chest, giving a gentle back bend here. Or you can open your arms out into a cactus shape. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders and your wrists are in line with your elbows, up towards the top of the mat. And then just let your elbows fall heavily down towards the ground. Breathe really deep and allow the stretch to naturally open up your shoulders and your chest. Just releasing those shoulders and the spine. Keep the breath deep. Taking 3 more deep breaths. If your arms are in a cactus, very slowly start to draw them down to the body. And then bring your hands to your belly, just rest them on your belly just for a moment here. From here, place your forearms onto the ground, lift your head, and then very slowly, using your core, lift your whole body up. You can move your blocks aside out the way, and we're just going to finish with some neck stretches and a little short meditation together. So sit up tall through the spine. Take your arms stretched out to the sides of you, shoulder blades just drop down towards the ground. Lock your elbows, and you'll already feel a stretch through the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, perhaps even into the neck. It's just such a lovely feeling. And then drop your head gently to the left. Hold it there for a minute. For a moment, should I say. And then just start to drop the head towards the chest, rolling from side to side. But when you get to the right, just hold it there just for a moment. And then take a few head rolls from side to side, nice and slowly at your own pace here. Just a couple more each side. And then lift your head to center, rotate the wrists. You might want to extend the legs just for a moment, maybe wobble and stretch out the feet, maybe give your whole body a little wriggle out here. And then find a comfy seat. We're just going to take a moment of silence. Use this time. Maybe choose a word that you want to have in your mind. It may be mindfulness, whatever it might be, maybe breathe, something to focus on. So close your eyes, place your hands on your knees, We're just going to be here for a moment. Try not to skip this. Any thoughts that come into your mind, allow them to pass. Pay them no attention. Accept them and let them go. Allow your breath to be natural. Picture your word of choice in front of your mind's eye. Okay, you can sit here as long as you like, or you can end your class with me by raising the hands but keeping the eyes closed, and just start to rotate your wrists in one direction again and then in the other. And just like at the beginning of class, but with the eyes open, inhale and reach the hands up, touch them together and stretch. Exhale down and take a little arch of the spine. Hold on to your knees. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to knees and arch the spine. Bring your hands to center in prayer. That word that you chose, maybe breathe, whatever it might be, bring it back to your mind. Bow your head. Namaste. You can open your eyes, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this class. It was nice and hopefully nice and accessible for the majority of the bodies out there and levels. If it wasn't accessible to you, then I have got some more beginner classes that you can give a go. Just search for YogaCandi beginner and they'll come up for you. And I hope that it's just left you feeling a little more ringed out, a little more either ready for the day or the evening ahead. Or perhaps you're doing it at lunchtime and it's just made you feel a little more revived for your afternoon of work or whatever you've got to do. So until next time, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Just put a thumbs up, share it of course, that would be wonderful. And don't forget to subscribe, especially if you're new here. So until next time everybody, have a wonderful day.